Now, today, I just want to weigh in on the Chinwo EeeZee issue. And what I'm going to do is basically analyze the whole thing, and then you judge by yourself what you think the problem is and what you think should be the solution. Now, to analyze this thing, and this analysis I'm going to do is also based on the fact that I happen to know exactly what is going on in that particular issue, and I have spoken to those who are for and those who are against, and because of that I want to give a balanced explanation of what is going on. I want to give a balanced analysis, but again, I will not conclude. You will be the one that will conclude what you think is happening and what you think the solution should be. So first of all, let's get into the genesis of the matter, the beginning. Mercy Chinwo used to be a backup singer for EeeZee. Now, don't forget that Mercy Chinwo, on her own right, already had her fame in the sense that she won Idols many years ago. So she's established herself and her name as a powerhouse or as a name in the music space. But if you have also followed the music industry on its journey, you will understand that just winning Idols or winning MTN Project Fame is not enough to make you a superstar. You have to now come out from the academy and really get into the business of music, right? And this is the place where you will need industry experts like maybe a label, a manager, someone who really knows the industry to help you, right? So I'm guessing that is the point where Mercy and EeeZee, their paths crossed, right? Mercy is based in Port Harcourt. EeeZee is a major name. In fact, as at the time, people do not know, but EeeZee used to manage Frank Edwards. He used to manage Priye. He managed Chris Morgan. At some point, he managed Chioma Jesus. So he is pretty much a name to reckon with and he has shown, work-wise, that he has the capacity to take an unknown artist and make them a star. So I'm guessing this is part of the reason why Mercy really wanted to be on his label or work with him, basically, right? Now, but because their relationship goes that far, it kind of like models things up when we begin to look at the current thing. So their relationship goes beyond label artist. It's more of a brother sister, senior junior brother type of relationship. In fact, if you have been around Mercy and EeeZee, you will hear that what she calls him is senior. I have been in that space, so I can say. So because the relationship is not really a label artist business relationship, it's actually a brother sister type of relationship, right? Now, EeeZee now wants to sign Mercy into his record label and gives her a proper standard industry contract. Now, if you understand what I mean by a proper standard industry contract, where things are defined in a certain way, so this is no more brother sister Christian relationship type of situation. This is now business, right? And if you know anything about the music business, you will know that one of the most beautiful news, one of the most amazing news an artist could ever hear is, I want to sign you into my label. Especially in those days, we're talking about probably like 10 years ago, 10, 7, 8 years ago. In fact, even till now, one of the most beautiful news an artist wants to hear is, I want to sign you to my label. Most times, artists do not pay attention to the nitty-gritty of the agreement, the contract they are asked to sign. As long as it's a blue back and there's money quoted, they will jump on it. Because everybody wants to sign something. In fact, we, signed some management contract at some point with some artists, in my organization. So I totally know what it feels like. So imagine having to sign a contract actually without really paying attention to the the clauses, the things written inside the contract. You just see it, and it's the person giving it to you is someone you've trusted over time, and you shall want to just move on and sign and move on. Right now, that signature is pended on the contract, and things begin to happen. Easy gets to work doing what he knows how to do best, one of the best in the job, because I happen to have worked with him, so I can say he's one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to gospel music. Now, fast forward down the line, Mercy is now a big name. Mercy is successful. She has gone from being that small girl, junior sister, person, and has now become a woman of her own, who has earned her right by working hard to, make a name for herself, even though, yes, under the guidance and the leadership and the navigation of Ezekiel. Right, so now she has become a woman of her own. She's married, she has a husband, and then they begin to now review things and look at things, and they begin to, because this thing has happened over time. And again, people forget that we all grow, right? We all grow. It's okay to grow from being a small boy to a big boy. If you look at the music industry, you see that there's always that point where that artist that a label signed like 5 years ago has gotten to the point where they want to be free. They want to, they know the business, they think that they have arrived. Because of that, they really want to move on. And because the label will always continue to see you as that small boy they signed. It's like a father, it's like a child needing to leave their father's house to go and become their own man, or to make something out of their life. And it happens. We've seen so many stories over and over again in the music industry where an artist will wake up one day and say, I don't want to be under my label again. Before you know it, they are in court, or they are having issues. It's all over the news and the blogs, and before you know it, they separate and pathways. It happens. B Square, and their brother, Wizkid, and Banky, so many names out there. So, and I'm guessing that is actually what now has come to play. Mercy has grown. She has gotten to the point where she can't be that small girl again who was always around senior, backing up for senior. Get what I'm saying? Yeah. So now that is the situation. Now she begins to ask questions, and those questions are not answered because the label is still seeing her as that small girl they signed some time ago, right? Now the label on their own, they are saying, look at this person, we invested in you, we did this, we did that, I know the amount of work that a label can put in, and so they are looking at her like, even though monies were paid, they are asking questions. Remember that now there are husbands in the picture for the girls, for Mercy and for Judike. There are husbands in the picture. She has her own, clique of friends and relationships now. She's no more that helpless young lady. So things have grown, people have grown. It's time to part ways. So now that is the picture. Let's not begin, and then we now begin to have discussions like, okay, the catalog of music she has made since, how much was remitted to her based on the agreement, what will happen to that catalog from now moving forward, who will own the catalog, things like that. All of these are things that can be sorted, with lawyers and industry experts. But the thing is that the relationship, the one thing I want to put out in this video is that it's normal for us to get to the point where we know we can't be together anymore, because I have outgrown that small boy or little girl you thought I was when I came to you, right? And I think every leader should anticipate that a time will come when it won't be like this anymore, and then they want to make some changes to release the person, let the person go, bless the person, let the person go. So that's the situation they are in. So what do you think they should do, right? Haven't painted this picture for you who is listening to me right now. What do you think they should do in this kind of situation, right? Obviously, they have already parted ways, but there are legal issues on ground, about money, and there's even a fraud case that has been submitted to a court. So what do you think they should do? I personally think that they should come together, sit down, and every party should come with an open heart and open mind to make things work out, because we can't start something in the spirit and end up in the flesh. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, so what's this fly doing here? Okay, so um that is the story, that is the picture. And it's easy to start pointing fingers and say, oh, this person is to be blamed, this person is to be blamed. But it's very important to have a healthy, overview of what is going on, and then see how we can move forward. And what we want to say to them is, Mercy, you've done well, you've served, you've also worked. Also, you have done your part as someone who is signed to a label. Maybe you backed out on some because you felt you were being mistreated, or you were not being fairly remunerated. Probably whatever the case is. Because if you, the label will also have their opinion and say, okay, we expected this from you. You signed this contract, and then you are not fulfilling, what you're supposed to fulfill. Either ways, we encourage both parties to please come together and sort their issue out, so that people like me that are upcoming artists can still find a label that will sign me. Thank you for listening to me, and have an amazing day. Bye bye.